Welcome to the Flicks, Picks, and the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, 718, and I'm back at it here again with another trailer review, and I just did Tom Holland's one on Cherry, which I thought had Daisy Ridley as his co-star, but unfortunately I was totally wrong, but I actually got the right film, which is called Chaos. I've heard not too much favorable things on Tom Holland's last two efforts, especially outside of the MCU, and I'm not sure which one they said was the worst one. They said one was a lot more tolerable, and I'm using the word tolerable, paraphrasing, because I can't find the right way. I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was just a little bit better as a film. And I don't know, Cherry, the trailer looked good, so I'm real curious about what Chaos is. This might have been the one that was the better out of the two with Daisy Ridley, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, we're going to find out on my own, at least the trailer, and hopefully let's see if it'll motivate me to go want to see the film. So let's just check this trailer out. Tom Holland in Chaos Walking. Let's do it. Oh, it's like a sci-fi. Okay.
That was a terrible crash.
Hey, you see him, you think it's Spider-Man already, Peter Parker. My man got the pimp fur coat on, player.
It's a girl.
Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, blonde hair. I've just never seen a girl before.
Who are you?
It's so loud here.
We call it the noise. Happened to all the men on this planet. Every thought in our heads were on display.
Where are all the women?
They're dead.
Now, how is this gonna work?
What is she thinking? Where the hell is her noise?
It's strange to see everything you're thinking.
You know, it's strange for me too, not knowing what's going on in your head. I mean, I don't know, you might not like my dog, or you want to hit me over the head with a rock or something.
I like your dog.
He's stronger than he knows.
But he works well in these type of stuff. Oh, this is dude from the Jonas Brother.
If those men catch you, they'll kill you. Get in the boat!
If you want to protect the girl, you have to leave now.
Safe, keep you safe, keep you safe, safe.
With her power, there's no telling what he can do. I need that girl before she wants him. How many are coming? 100? 200?
Thousands.
Oh, it's an alien.
I ain't taught you it. Be a man. Fight.
Be quiet.
I'm trying.
Come on. Fight.
Oh. So wait a second. Is it that her powers makes his thoughts visualized for everyone? Or just for her? That's the thing, because if only she can hear it, then why would he need to be careful what he says? It's not like no one else is going to hear his thoughts. So that's the only thing. Like, if you're thinking it shoots out while she's in your presence, that'd be interesting. I thought they would probably go more the way of needing her for procreation reasons. You know, there was an episode of, what you call it, The Outer Limits, where they had a world where all the women was the only ones alive, and one guy happened to somehow survive, I think in a like cryo chamber or whatnot. He woke up, came up out, and when everyone seen it, it was like, oh shoot, it's a dude. And it was a very interesting joint, kind of like they kind of played with that kind of concept a little bit in the animated Wonder Woman series that they had that was going straight to VOD. Because they kind of talked about being on a planet with nothing but women, and one of the women actually was a traitor to all her sisters, going off with Hades, and she had this line that was very carefully placed, and they just left it there. She said, "Yeah, we're friends, we're family." Like, and she was like, "How could you betray us?" Before she died, and she was like, and I think it was Apolloda, and she was like, "Yeah, we do this. We're warriors. We're this. We're that. We're the strongest." But in the end, you keep forgetting we're still women. I'm still a woman. It was really deep and impactful because it really speaks to something at a very biological level, because we're both half man, half woman. So is it that far of a concept to have this longing and need for the opposite sex on a very, not even very visceral, but beyond visceral, before we even get to that, biological, anatomic level? And it was so simply put to explain the seed of motivation that created her to unravel, defunct, divest, and go against her sisters. And I'm watching what is it? The Outer Limits. They touched on it in a way that this woman colony, when all the men died, they explained all the boy children just didn't make it. It was like, because how are you having more kids? And they was like, well, we got enough sperm banks. We could literally keep on making more humans for a lot more generations to come. That wasn't the issue. They were just like the male mortality rate just didn't make it past infancy, and they never could understand why. But only the women survived. So they had this woman civilization. It was very interesting because they showed how these women would beef and dealt with inner conflict. But as soon as the guy came in, how he handled inner conflict was, if that tribe of women don't like it, well, why don't we just take it? We got to take care of our own. And it was so intelligent because it showed you how men and women operate, and also kind of even let you know why we men wouldn't even be able to survive in their world, and basically how we shouldn't in a lot of cases in the world that they created, because it also showed what men bring to the table outside of all the things that he was able to help the women with in the village. When it came to conflict, this guy just seemed to like want to go, let's violate them, whatever we got to do for the team. And they didn't operate like that. And I forget exactly how all the way end. I think he dies or gets put back in the cryo chambers. But I just know that one thing for sure is he was the linchpin for the first war, legit wars within women. It wasn't like they didn't have conflict in these same issues. It was the elevation to the next level. You know what I mean? And it would have been fascinating to show the argument and the duality and why there might have been a necessity for him to do that. It would have just been more interesting for writing, but neither here nor there. That was always a hyper interesting story that they told in The Outer Limits. It was like highly impressive to me. So to see them, when I see this, I'm thinking, are they gonna go that kind of route to make it a little bit more like cerebral, more intelligence, there's a philosophy behind it, or is it just going to be a head-on sci-fi apocalyptic type of thing? And I'm not exactly sure where they're going with it, because what do they need her for? I'm thinking they needed her for procreation reasons. Now they're flipping it, which would have been interesting to see, how these men grow their generations. Like, have they procreated? Do they procreate? I mean, like, how do they? Well, actually, they have to if they're gonna keep on growing humans. Or whatever happened with all the women dying off or not being there must have happened very relatively reasonably within a short span of time, to where at least we get caught up to as a viewer in, and that's why they don't have to deal with that. That's why I'm thinking, like, is she the key to survival? But it seems like it's more about seeing thoughts. And then now there's an alien presence, so it seems like they got so much going on. I hope they could juggle all of this while telling a good story, whatever the story is. If it's supposed to be just an action, cool. If it's action thriller, cool. But I feel like just playing off of ideas that I've seen before, they could do an interesting take on men living without women and really kind of talk to it a little bit and see how they kind of create a society. Maybe they'll show the other way, guys building but women civilize men, and maybe there's a duality there. Like I said, it could be very fascinating to tell this story and have an even stronger point to even be made. Not to say that you need to tell points on life, I'm just saying to make you really think and like, you know, reflect a little bit, like what women add to men. Maybe not in a very, like, we could build up skyscrapers and stuff just as quick and efficient as you. Maybe not that. Something very personal, very private, very intimate that actually adds so much to society that we forget how important it is to get us back to understanding the balance between the X and the Y chromosome, because there's only two of those. And in a sci-fi film, you can actually express that in a very via social science in a way, but be creative, of course, because you still want to tell the story while also kind of speaking to something very, I don't know, poignant in terms of the relationship between men and women and the necessity between the two to keep civilization going. But the only, like I said, I mean, when I'm seeing this and they're saying there's no women, I'm thinking, are they going to go that route? Because I've seen them touch this on in the Outer Limits, and a little bit, like I said, they in a little line with the Themyscira in an animated Wonder Woman film, that to just to even consider the other way around just made me think, what could they really do to kind of give you those kind of moments? If only just the moment. You don't need the whole film to be about it, but just really carry it further and further, add another layer to the film. I don't know. I mean, it's just something that came to my mind because as I'm watching, I never knew nothing about this. It just made me think a lot more about how interesting and fascinating an idea that could be, and to take it from that angle and really dig into it. But the question is that going to be the main point of the film, or is it something else, or is it more, because I see there's aliens or something to this, or is it more about her powers and seeing people? Like, it's so much going on. So I'm curious to know which lane they're gonna make be the focus of the film, and it seems like it's not gonna be what I said, but it's interesting to see what lane they decide to go and see, can they actually stand on that direction that they went? Because a lot of films, you could take it a lot of different directions on the focal point to really bring the meat of the film out and really get a lot more character development. But you just got to choose the lane in which they go so that it could start the character on their journey to develop them and also help us learn and see their arc within the film. But let's just check it out one more time. Cue this bad boy out. And go. Yeah, it just seems like so much is going on, and then you throw a Jonas brother in there. It's like a lot to do.
That was a terrible crash.
She's in space, coming down to Earth. It just seemed like there's so much to really mine, to wonder how did they get to that point, to where she's the only woman falling out from a satellite from out in space.
Whoa,
to Earth.
Stop! Don't come any closer.
It's a girl.
Girl! Oh my gosh, girl. I'm sorry.
No, blonde hair.
I've just never
seen a girl before.
Who are you?
It's so loud here.
We call it the noise. Happened to all the men on this planet. Every thought in our heads were on display.
Oh, so it's them.
Where are all the women?
They're dead.
So it's them that's projecting
Where the
it
hell
though.
is her noise?
It's strange to see everything you're thinking.
You know, it's strange for me too, not knowing what's going on in your head. I mean, I don't know, you might not like my dog, or you want to hit me over the head with a rock or something.
So she
I like
sees
it,
what he says and here.
He's stronger than he knows. You better watch your noise.
Snake.
Oh. And they could
Those men
think
catch
things
you,
out of
they'll kill
existence.
you. Get in the boat!
So I wonder if the dog is a figment of his imagination.
You have to leave now. Safe, keep you safe, keep you safe.
With her power, there's no telling what he can do. I need that girl before she wants him. How many are coming? 100? 200?
Thousands.
So what is it? What they think,
I am Todd Hewitt. Be a man. Fight. Be quiet.
they visualize.
Come on. Fight.
So what is it? What they think they visualize, and what she does is make it materialize and make it actually affect. So what they think they visualize and what she's there to do is to make it materialize. And that's like the relationship. I don't know. I mean, like I said, this film seems like they got a lot of ways they can go with this to make it as a focal point. I hope they choose wisely. It seems interesting. I don't know what to think. I mean, I just know that I'm interested. It looks cool. It looked like a dope, some film that I would have seen for HBO, like a better HBO type of film, but real good. But at the same time, like I said, I won't know unless I give it a shot. So let me know what you guys think. Have you seen it? Did it even drop yet? I know it's either just came out or was just about to come out. But either way you look at it, let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, till I have a better outro. Chill.